Today's episode of Overlooked History is about the Great Molasses Flood of 1919. The Purity Distilling Company distilled ethyl alcohol from its main plant in Boston. To do this, they needed molasses, and a lot of it. One of their largest tanks was built in 1915 at 529 Commercial Street in Boston. The tank could hold up to 2.5 million gallons, which is equal to about 3.5 Olympic-sized swimming pools. The tank had a number of problems, the largest being that the steel it was made of was not thick enough to hold that much molasses. It was also susceptible to cracks, and children used to come and collect the molasses that oozed out of the tank. On January 14, 1919, a ship arrived from Puerto Rico with enough molasses to fill the tank. The molasses was warmed to make it more free-flowing and easier to transfer. Since it was winter in New England, the weather was very cold. The warm molasses began to cool, which also made it expand. Because of this expansion, at 12:30 on January 15, 1919, the tank burst. Witnesses described hearing sounds like a machine gun as the rivets in the tank popped out. Once the tank burst, the molasses pouring out of its ruins created a wave 25 feet tall that traveled 35 miles per hour, much faster than molasses normally travels. A streetcar was tipped over, and buildings in the wave's path were ripped from their foundations and destroyed. As the wave traveled through the city, it threw a truck into the harbor, and people became trapped in the gooey mess. Once the molasses settled down, it created a sticky sludge waist-deep throughout the area. As the molasses cooled, it became less free-flowing, which trapped people inside the sticky mess, and made it harder for rescue crews to reach the victims. The molasses wave injured around 150 people and killed 21. The Purity Distilling Company's parent, the United States Industrial Alcohol Company, faced 125 lawsuits after the accident. The company claimed the tank had been bombed by anarchists, but the court determined it was the company's fault for not addressing the tank's structural problems. Today, the site of the tank is now a public park. For years after the accident, it was said that on a hot summer day, you could still smell the molasses in the areas that were flooded. Thank you.